Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And this is another video that I get a lot of this bullshit, and then you try to make a video without laughing in the middle of the video. I mean, there's a lot more YouTubers that are way more articulate than me. They can laugh at something, but they are more articulate in the sense that they can say the shit without laughing and messing up their speech. But me, yeah, it's harder because not that I'm any less articulate than them, but it's some people that are so freaking idiotic and they think they're hurting you with their troll comments, like they know something and it makes you laugh like really hard. So that's my justification. Anyway, I think I did video like this before. I'm due for another one about how bootlickers like to project. When somebody will call you a bootlicker and you're actually, oh, there's some wind going on and it's shaking this camera around. Hopefully it don't get knocked down on the platform that I haven't set. And anyway, yeah, when a lot of times somebody will call somebody else a bootlicker, they're actually projecting. I had this argument before. It says on YouTube in comments and the person got mad and blocked me, but this is at some other social media. My local social media and news alerts for my local area where I live, we damn fucking win. But anyway, here goes. Yeah, this is damn hilarious. Anybody calls you a bootlicker and they're a damn bootlicker for somebody else, and they're just projecting. I'll give you an example here. Damn fucking win. But anyway, trying not to laugh here. One example is how I'm outspoken either on YouTube, or I said this on my local news alerts, because people are looking for an apartment, a place to stay. You know, and I said during the pandemic, me and my partner need to look for a new place, but we got blessed with a nice neighborhood and a better income too. And because I willfully and intentionally put myself out there back in 2020, yeah, that went fast by now. Anyway, the person who called me a bootlicker, or maybe some of you a bootlicker, are mad about this, and I look at what they're into, all their protest shit. And oh well, you call me a bootlicker, but you ain't being a bootlicker for your master, your leftist daddy or mommy that promised to give you everything or whatever, to let you do your protest marches and damage and loot what you want. And even if you don't participate in that, you glorify it and you're licking somebody's boots, whether you participate in it or you go online glorifying it. But anyway, I talked about, even though it was 4 years ago, in my local blogs for the news alerts, how, yeah, I actually intentionally bring this up because I want other people to brag about this and put this out there themselves and go spreading around that they prospered because they didn't, and got themselves a nice place in a nice neighborhood because they pretty much, instead of rooting for it, they condemned and rejected that bullshit. And I say how landlords in nice neighborhoods, even if you don't participate in protest culture and the vandalism, if you're glorifying and rooting for it like it's the right thing to do, and if you're glorifying and gloating over that person that has a nice house and nice business getting vandalized because they ain't one of you, and they're not raising their fist in the air and saying, down with the police, down with the person that has a nicer car to you, aka what they call the rich, the middle class that has a nice car that they work for, or the rich to these people. Anyway, yeah, raise their fist in the air, right? And what they mean is down with the police, down with anybody that has anything nicer to them, because after all, they're bootlickers. And down with everybody that has a nicer car than them, and down with the police and anybody that's not with them. And power to Mr. King of the Streets that sell them their drugs, and whether black or white, the drug thug daddy, you know, or gang leader that you're licking the boots of, which you could accuse me of licking the boots of. Yeah, like licking the boots of, like leftist daddy, protest leader daddy, and radical leftist college professor daddy. Yeah, who's licking boots here? Yeah, it seems like somebody's projecting, right? So it's like, and just because, hey, I have had some more sucky times too, where I had to buckle down and bust my ass. That's why I did a lot of my fitness videos with knuckle push-ups to assert who I am, you know, even in workplaces where everybody else is doing smoke breaks or whatever. And a coping mechanism. You go to a lesser job, so you have to bust your ass industrial. But anyway, I'm projecting something, and in a way too, when I show that, it's not just for somebody's entertainment, because I can do splits, you know, knuckle push-ups, from some leftist protester with their little gang, you know. Yeah, they'll get their jaw broke or kick their face into outer space, you know. They try to put their hands on you, but I was doing that way before that shit came up. But anyway, yeah, I've had some bitter times where I had to work industrial jobs for like lesser money, and I mean, went from having a smirk on my face, walking around like the $1 Million Man when I had my first job in my 20s, whilst without getting a haircut and walking around with a job above minimum wage. But yes, Western Pennsylvania, it doesn't last. It'll last 10 years or you're lucky, and you can have bitter times and have to work some lesser job, but you cope and do things to better yourself and exercise, and not go around and work minimum little as possible. Where's my paycheck so I can go buy some dope or whatever the fuck. But anyway, my point to all this, if you got this far in this video, yeah, the person called me a bootlicker. I don't know if he's pretending or not. Oh, I'm a bootlicker because I have a better income and I got into a nice place or whatever, because I brag about it, because I think I got myself there, bragging that I got myself there, because I foresee that in nice neighborhoods, the landlords check your social media. Even if you're glorifying that shit, they think you're a danger to their property. They don't want that shit in a nicer neighborhood. Oh, I'm a bootlicker. But the person who called me a bootlicker, if you got this far in this video, is the point. I look at his little social media account, you know, and I don't do Facebook or Instagram that much, but I have had these Twitter accounts or whatever too. But like I said, my local social media account, I look at his account, right? I'm like, oh, either he's a software developer or he's pretending to be a software developer. He looks a little young, t-shirt and goofy t-shirt and shorts, slightly chubby, and has this childlike smile on his face. You know how some of the people, they might look younger than they are, and they're old enough that maybe have some, hey, you can be young and probably be good at, maybe you really are a software developer, or you can be fucking lying and some dude still living with your parents. But anyway, oh, if you really are a software developer, oh, you're doing real well. I mean, you're not a bootlicker. Oh, wait, I see. For the cancel culture, you probably glorify, right? Anybody that's prospering can get fired for not glorifying the protests and damage in the name of a guy who did time for pointing a gun at the belly of a pregnant mother, threatened her and her baby when he did a home invasion, did his time, and got killed by the overzealous cops, you know, for passing counterfeit money, which, yeah, the cops could have took him in. I understand that. Oh, yeah, you get canceled if you're proud of your biological gender and you're not ashamed of your who you are, your biological gender, and you're supposed to all of a sudden feel guilty because you have to feel guilty because of the color of your skin for being white, even if your white had nothing to do with something that had been happened. Okay, and you can get canceled. Yeah, I see. If you really are a software developer or anybody else with this ideology, oh yeah, oh, you're allowed to do well. It's okay, right? Down with capitalism. But oh yeah, capitalism's okay if you're using it to fund whatever. You're a leftist daddy, then nobody's allowed to prosper. See, if you don't have any ideology according to you, right? And these are the kind of people you would ask the question. And yes, some far-right people I asked this too. But the far left I asked them too. By whose authority and in the name of what daddy or what master do you profess or dictate to me that I'm a bootlicker or a dead? Or did I need to take my med? Oh yeah, I had the comment too sometimes, take your meds. And when somebody says take your meds because for having an opinion other than theirs, oh, they don't have to take any meds because all their opinions is right. But I guess, wait. You tell me take my meds because I have some wrong opinion and I need to take mind-altering drugs to be made to conform and submit to your would-be enforcing class and thugs who you'd like to do away with the police and maybe put me into some mental institution or cage or jail and leave me there until I see the error of my ways and bow down. Yeah, you're right. Come and try it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still waiting, yeah, you ought to overthrow the government and do away with all these mean old right-wing people, take their guns and then throw everybody else in cages. Which, don't get me wrong, there are people that are real far right. Yeah, do I look like a fucking far right-wing to you or conservative? Some of them like me. I like some of them better than others, and I always talk about there are ones that if I don't get a haircut, there's ones real far right that don't like me. But where I live, there's a lot of people. Yes, I lean right to a lot of things. But yeah, you want to call me this or that. There's a lot of far, really out there conservatives that have the really outdated ways out there that don't like me, even though I can't speak to on their level. I mean, I gotta go down a notch. So if it's of any consolation to you, I'm trying to be fair to some of you fuckers out there, you know what I mean? But then the leftists, yeah, the far left is so superior, your protest culture, right? I also, for you, I'm supposed to go down a notch and bow down to whatever daddy, which is probably Mr. King of the Streets or protest marchers that are, which 2020 protests, no different than the massive protests that went on in the 60s, your so-called fucking Summer of Love. Yeah, you were supposed to overthrow everything, and the dress rehearsal for some communist takeover fantasy, which, yeah, your protest marches like a 2020, that's dress rehearsal for what they really would like to do, and what they're trying to do in Canada. And like I always said, if you got this far in this video, yeah, it ain't MAGA you have to worry about, or any gun-toting right wing that you would accuse me of. It's not them you got to worry about. It's people like me and a lot of other people that there's a lot more of in numbers with attitude problems. Yeah, MAGA and a few MAGA people and little armies of the pro-gun right-wing people, which I have nothing really against. I mean, there might be a few out there, splinter groups that think I should get a haircut and don't like me and have their guns already. I quite leave the way I look, I'd probably fit in with some of the ones in Ohio and West Virginia that have ponytails, gray hair, and beards. I'm trying to be sarcastically nice here. I'm trying to be devil's advocate. You know what I mean? Trying to indicate that, like I says, I'm like very similar to the YouTuber Sticks Hexenhammer 666, except I have a lot of beliefs, but his version of the occult beliefs, I actually operate way differently that work for me. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's not him you got to worry about because he got all those as YouTube views. It's people like maybe me and a few of us that don't even have YouTube accounts that may look like me or think like me. Yeah, Mr. Want to take guns away and have your Mr. King of the Street's going to have guns. They'll be the enforcing class. And what I meant to do in this video too, if you got this far, yeah, dude called me a bootlicker. He doing real well, right? And he had on his social media, I meant to get to this, glorifying drug use. all his little friends that are taking the, whatever you call it, Molly, the drug Molly. I watched a YouTube video on it, why they called it Molly. It was interesting. But yeah, tell him, make sure his little friends have all their fentanyl test strips. Glorifying the use of drugs, doesn't believe in, yeah, real short haircut, got a childlike smile, and all that. Doesn't condemn any use or sale of any dangerous drugs. Oh, definitely wants government subsidized fentanyl strips, and just wants everybody to do drugs. Regards them as his friends, you know, like he cares about them. Yeah, go to your injection center. Yeah, he didn't bring up the injection centers, but he might as well have. Tell them, yeah, make sure they have their fentanyl strips. You know, their version, the leftoid version of empathy. Have empathy for everybody. Give them all government-funded Narcan. Don't condemn anybody that sells all these drugs. You know, as a matter of fact, they don't condemn the sale of these drugs. As a matter of fact, they glorify Mr. King of the Streets that sells it with guns, but yet he doesn't want anybody else to have guns. Against guns, but those people that sell the drugs have guns. Oh, give them government-funded fentanyl test strips, and they get to tell you who you can and can't have empathy for. Their empathy is superior empathy, see. Yeah, the crackhead and drug dealer, give them all their Narcan, but disabled veterans, they let them be homeless and or whatever the hell, you know. And everybody else, nothing against all immigrants, but yeah, there's people, both black and white, have been homeless for years. You don't even have fucking room for them, like according to my Pittsburgh news, but bring more of them in and just, oh yeah, we're gonna take in the whole world, while other countries that won't even take care of their own people. Yeah, but we point this out, but we're xenophobic, okay, whatever. But anyway, yeah, those are the kind of people that I will call, yeah, different. Okay, if you got this far in this video, both far left and right do use the kind of word ass kisser or bootlicker, but the element of ass kisser or bootlicker varies between ideologies. Oh, like if I want to have nice things because I care about communities and I'm against vandalism that happens every damn time a cop fucks up, and I'm against that, and I care about having respect for stores and businesses and property. I'm a bootlicker, see, and I want to prosper and live in a nice area. But the person who glorifies Mr. King of the Streets, drug daddy, and protest leader, or protest organizer, or a radical left college professor. Oh, you're not a bootlicker. Okay, you believe in the superior ideology. That's not bootlicking. Okay, just because you're bootlicking for these people, that's what I call a bootlicker. A bootlicker who projects. The bootlicker who calls somebody else a bootlicker. That's why some of us call out bootlickers in moderation, because God forbid we use the word bootlicker that may be true, and we get accused of projecting. Maybe it's all in whoever's boots you're licking. But does it mean just because you have, maybe you swear like a, whether you're black or white watching this, and swear like a ghetto truck driver, like I sometimes do, and have a decent moral compass, oh yeah, you're a bootlicker, all right, but somebody else who, kisses the ass of the disingenuous race baiters and all those who want to destroy what they don't have and glorify protest culture. Oh, they're not looking the boots of anybody. Oh, can you actually have a decent moral compass according to what you believe, and actually stand up for what you believe without licking the boots, and actually manage to, even though an ideology that you hold dear, say that it's okay to disagree with some of those too, which I actually do. And yeah, I've actually accused the far right of this, some of the far right of this all the time. You point out certain things, you know, yes. Some of them, hey, both sides do, far left and far right. They sweep under the rug things. And you won't get graced with being allowed to hang with them or even being allowed to prosper if you don't. Or yeah, you get called, the far right likes to call you a fence sitter. Yeah, you're not allowed. Yeah, both sides, they'll say you're not allowed to prosper. If we had any say in it, you wouldn't be allowed to prosper. You wouldn't even, you'd be pressing hard to get a job cleaning toilets. If you don't kiss the ass of our ideology, cross every T, dot every I now, right? But yeah, I'm going to quit right here with this video before it gets too long, because it'll just turn into broken record sarcasm. You know, I'm trying to do it without being broken record, but it's really hard. Even the very experienced YouTubers, they'll get accused of repetitive or broken record, because there's a part of the broken record list that you kind of end up using. You can say to your blue in the face to point out like a broken record. You're doing it like a broken record, but yet you're talking about a bunch of different people too that fit a category, you know what I mean? And but yeah, right, you know what I mean? Yeah, like rules for me, not for thee. Yeah, somebody else is a bootlicker because their master or daddy or mommy said them. So, and then the ones that'll say that, they can't put two sentences together to debunk you. And oh, and if you got this far in this video too. Yeah, when you point out that, challenge them to put a few sentences together to elaborate, 90% of them block you. If you, if you got this far in this video, I think I'll write that out. I'll have written that out in the description of this video. Anyway, like I said, I'll end with my favorite saying is, there's not that you don't give a rat's ass. You have to decide in this world with its people. There's certain aspects of giving a rat's ass that you don't give a rat's ass about, and we must determine whether a rat's ass could or should be offered or even given in any situation. Like, you offer up the rat's ass, you try to play ball with them, and try to grace them with trying to get them to explain to you why about their ideology, whether a rat's ass should be offered or even given. And when they can't do it, they spout out their one-liners and eventually block you. Or even in person or online, they don't got their little friends backing them up. Or in the real world, roll their eyes or yell over top of you. Yeah, whether they're black and white, that's the most I did whole videos on that. Yell over top of you, or sit there and don't answer a particular question, or just totally dance around it and slyly change the subject, you know what I mean? Redirect, gaslight, and slyly avoid the question, you know what I mean? So many tricks that they do.